Okay. Okay, welcome everyone to our third team call. It's technically our fourth, but we're in week 3 of our 2018 obsession, and we are playing around with the times for this team chat. So right now, as of now, we're doing it on Saturdays, but we may flip-flop a little bit to try to accommodate more people, because the whole point of these calls is for you to be on live if you can, so that you can get out of it what we are trying to get out of it, which is connecting with your teammates, getting the support that you need, not just from me, but from other people in the group, and just seeing people's faces. There's a difference, a big difference between talking over the computer with typed words versus hearing people's voices and seeing their expressions and being able to relate to their successes and their struggles and getting ideas from each other for how to overcome the obstacles for this long journey. So not everybody's doing 80-day obsession, which is totally fine, but we're all on a lifestyle journey. I don't think any of us are really in this for a quick fix. If you are, you're probably in the wrong place, because what we promote here is a lifestyle and how to really change your mindset about the way you see food and the way you see exercise and the way you fit that into not just your own life, but your family life too. I personally, one of my personal visions and goals for my family is to make health something that's common for us and not something like we're doing, like not doing a healthy thing, but like that's just something that we do. And to implement something like that, it takes time and it takes everybody to be on board, and it really takes leading from the front and showing people in your household and in your life that this is just something you're doing. It's not a fad, it's not some phase, but that it's really important to you. And so I want exercise in my own life to be something that's not a chore. It's not always fun, and I know I don't expect to always feel like, oh, I can't wait to work out, but I want it to be something that doesn't feel like another to do. And some days it's just going to feel like that, just like work or anything. But I want it to be more of a labor of love and just something that's exciting and fun. And also to fit exercise into our lives in other ways. I like being outdoors. We haven't been outdoors in a while. It's been freezing, and I just haven't had the motivation to even bundle everybody up. And I'm just like, nope, we're not going anywhere. So that's personally for me, one of my goals to help my challengers and my coaches too, to let's figure out ways to just make this what we do and not something we're doing, and just make it part of our lives, and so that other people can feel empowered to do the same thing. Because I think even though there's a huge health craze in our country and really in the world right now, it's still looked at as kind of foreign sometimes, and because we're around health minded people a lot, sometimes we don't realize that a lot of people look at it as a foreign concept. Like, why would you go after church to church function or gathering, and why wouldn't you eat the cake and the Cheetos and everything that they have? Like, that's looked at as weird in our culture. Still, we're kind of still like the 1%ers or the 10%ers or whatever percent we are. So I really, as a bigger vision, that I want to change that. But that only starts with my own life and my own style, and then kind of, getting other people on board and empowering them to do that for themselves too. And then they get to affect the people around them. So all that to say, this team call is for us because we start the mission. It starts with ourselves. And so if we can't, figure it out, then it's going to be hard for us to affect the people around us. And when we affect the people around us, then it in turn gives us a benefit, because then it instates, I guess, or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? It reinforces it in our own lives. Because sometimes, I'll start this, okay, like, this is what we're doing. And then my husband will get on board. And then all of a sudden I'm kind of like, meh. And then he's like, what are you doing? I thought this is what we're doing. And then it keeps, so the circle, it keeps us all going. So I just wanted to get on today and just kind of go around and just share any successes that you've had this week. I really love to focus on the positive, any struggles that you're facing, and and then anything that you found that might be helpful to overcome those, and then we can just go back and forth like that, and then we can get on about our Saturdays. So whoever wants to start, be my guest.
Well, my successes this week was that I moved my weights up, so that was good.
Awesome.
I didn't think that, I could do that, and I got through that, what was it, the cardio core that, I struggled with in the first week with my feet. It wasn't pretty, but I got through it, so I was pretty proud of that. So that was, a pretty big success that, I was happy about, that I could actually get through it. I didn't do the 4 reps. I just went at my pace. So, but still, I got it done.
Yes.
So I think those were big successes this week for me. Do you want me to do the non-successes too, or are we waiting on those?
No, keep going.
Oh, so the non-successes is I didn't work out for the last 2 days.
Okay.
It's been a pretty emotional 2 days, work and non-work. So, I mean, work-wise, I didn't get home till 9 o'clock, and I was just too tired to do anything. But it wasn't that I didn't want to work out. I was just too emotional to work out. And I felt guilty about it, but I knew I wasn't in the right frame of mind to work out, if that makes sense.
I understand. You do.
Kind of an odd thing, but I mean, I'm kind of better today. So I knew yesterday in my frame of mind, I didn't want to work out, but I also put in my frame of mind that tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow I will put it in my mind that I will work out. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to quit.
Yes.
I don't want to quit. So, so I don't know if that's kind of it's both a good and a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah. And, I find that for my own journey, you guys know I've said it a million times, and I'll probably talk about it till I'm blue in the face, but I really struggled in 2017 in every aspect of my life, including fitness. And so I just kept starting. And every time I started over, I thought, okay, I'm in it. Like, I'm in it to win it. And then the weekend would come and I'd be like, oh, forget it. Let me just start over. And then, I'd have a couple days. And I think, I started to beat myself up, and, I started to feel guilty about it. And then I realized this year, I was like, you know what? It just was part of my process. Like, I can't feel regretful about that, because even though I would have preferred that I didn't have to go through that, or I didn't put myself through that, or however you want to frame it, I felt that it got me to this place where now I'm ready. Now it forced me to get to a place where I stopped looking at my exercise as a to-do, and I started looking at it as, no, this is actually going to help me with how I'm feeling emotional and how I'm feeling. And I tried to do that last year, and I wasn't there yet. And so it just took more time for me to get there, where I flipped the thought about what exercise is for me to, now this is actually something I'm doing to help me work through some emotional pain that I'm going through, instead of just like, oh my gosh, like, I got to work out. It's another thing, because that's where I was mentally last year, for sure. Like, the whole year, like, oh my gosh, I missed the workout. And then I would feel guilty about that. And then I'd miss another one. And then I'd be like, okay, let me just start over. And then, all the things that I think we all go through. So I totally understand what you're saying. And sometimes for me, it's almost like 90% mental. So you do have to be in the right frame of mind sometimes, until you look at exercise as something that gets you in the right frame of mind. Like, it's just a total mental flip, and that takes time, right now. And I could, a month from now, maybe be back in that struggle. I don't know what's going to come, but I just totally get where you're coming from, for sure.
Right.
But you pushed through, and you had an ab injury. I mean, you've been in my groups on and off for a while now, and I've seen you push really through some stuff that I know you're going through right now. And that in itself is a huge win. These are all things that we constantly have to lift our own heads and remind ourselves that, no, I don't suck. I'm not sucking. I might not be where I want to be, but I'm getting this thing figured out. And so I think we have to constantly remind ourselves, you know what? No, I'm okay. I'm doing what I need to do to get to the next step. So I'm really, actually, personally, I'm very proud of you for what you've been doing, because I know it's not easy. I know. And it's very easy to just say, screw it. Let me be comfortable. Like, that's kind of how I felt today. And I was like, I know myself too well. I know myself too well. Later never comes for me. I'm like, I'll just do it later. Like, we have stuff to do. That just doesn't come for me. I just have another thing to do and another thing to do. And then I'm like, I want to snuggle with my boys, or I find some reason not to do it. So good. I'm excited about that. And have you found, Meredith, anything that has helped you throughout the week at all?
The journaling definitely has helped.
Yes. Is that
lots of journaling this week?
good? Is that something you're doing like every day?
I think it hasn't been every day, but it's been probably 5 days.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's at least 4 or 5 days.
That's awesome.
Just, in the last week.
Yes. Journaling it's one of those things where you're like, you kind of have to make yourself do it, like food prep. But then when you do it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever, because it helps you to heal.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. I love journaling.
Even last night, when I just knew I knew that working out just wasn't going to happen, in the midst of, having a crying fit, I just got out my pen and paper and just started journaling. So I was like, well, you know what? I could just sit here and just lay on the couch the whole time and just cry, or I could do something else that's a little more productive. So I kind of felt good that I at least did 1 out of 2 of the things.
Yes. That's a huge win. It is.
It's better than what I did before. So
for sure.
And
that's all you can ask of yourself. You're not in competition with anybody. You're not trying to keep up with the pace of anybody. You just have to be moving the needle forward for your own self, so that you get where you're trying to go. That's all that matters. And whether that's, some days it's leaps and bounds, and other days it's like not even noticeable, but you've still stepped forward. And that's a hard thing for, I think, a lot of us women to accept, because we're always on the go. We're always like, this has to get done. This has to get done. We have demanding jobs and demanding family lives, and we're the center of our families, and, we're the center at work. And, it's hard for us to realize it. Small little steps are okay. Those are good things. They actually add up faster than the leaps and bounds, because the leaps and bounds are only once in a while. So
right.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Carrie, you want to share?
Sure. So some challenges have been, I didn't do really well with meal prep last week. So I'm also vegetarian, so I have my own issues with the meal plan, just making sure I get enough protein and stuff. So, but I've been doing it. I've stuck to the plan. It's just been more difficult because I didn't have it really planned out in advance. But then my victory last night was, we did go out to a restaurant, and I was able to eat my containers, and I brought an orange container because they didn't have one on the menu. So I was able to do it. And then also just, I haven't had I haven't felt like I've had any change yet in the 3 weeks. And I'm okay with my weight not changing. That's not my goal, but I'm feeling really bloated. So I'm trying to do some elimination to see what's causing it, because I know there's abs under there, but I look pregnant.
Most days I do too.
Nothing is changing in my belly. And so anyway, so that's my issue.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
So Christina Delgado, it talked about that a lot because, she did everything super strictly to a T because she was in the
Yeah.
pre-launch test group. And she said she had tons of days where she was just like, Autumn, what the hell is this? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 5 months pregnant. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And she said, I just had to keep telling myself, okay, this woman knows what she's doing. Like, let me just follow it. But, she had those days where she was like doubting, maybe I'll just cut out my purples today, or maybe I'll just cut out my yellows. Like, I don't want to have all this stuff. And then she just kept going. And she said, I think one of the phases she didn't lose a pound, and she was trying to lose weight. I know you're not, but she didn't lose a pound. And she said she didn't really feel like, she felt stronger, but she didn't feel like much else was happening.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everything just came off. And she just completely leaned out. And so she was like, I'm so glad that I didn't that I just kept going, And I feel that way too. I mean, I was like, okay, I woke up this morning and I'm like, let me do an ab check. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even suck in and make it look good. I was like, forget it. So, yeah. I think a couple people have said the same thing. So it's probably going to take time.
I know. I want to share progress photos, and I can't share my own because everyone's going to be like, what is she even talking about? Like,
that's how I feel about mine. I was going to share.
She's working that hard and she still looks like that? No.
Yeah. Like, don't sign me up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I know. I felt the same way. I tried to take some 2-week progress, and I'm like, and for my regular photos, my first photos, I was trying to make sure that it was straight on. Like I wasn't doing any good angles or anything.
Right.
Let me call it like it is. And so I thought I got some pretty good ones, and I was like, oh God. So then I just thought, man, I've been working out hard. Like I've been following this meal plan to a T. And then one weekend I was like, and so then I said, okay, 2 weeks will be good. So then I looked 2 weeks and I'm like, I'm not sharing that yet. So, I'm just rolling with it. I'm like, I know some changes are happening because I feel, and I did lose inches. Like my first week, I lost 6 inches.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Body. Yeah. So, and I've always been that type of person where the scale comes last for me. I lose inches faster than I lose on the scale, which is fine. I mean, it's just kind of a shifting, but yeah, we do have to, and this is where the mental part of it has to kick in. It's like you have to remember, don't let the self-doubt creep in because it's going to come. And you're going to feel like this isn't the plan for me. Maybe I should have just stuck with what worked in the past. Maybe I am just, and for you, I'm sure the vegetarian doubt comes in like, this is probably working for other people because they're not vegetarian. All these different thoughts come in, and it's like, and I'll tell you, my husband actually had his first coaching job, he had a player on his team, and I'll never forget this guy. I'm sure part of it was genetics, but part of him, he was so jacked and so lean, and he was a vegan. He wasn't even a vegetarian. He was a vegan. I'm like, how is that? How is he an athlete and building muscle like that? Like, I don't understand. My husband's like, he eats loads and loads of broccoli, and he eats, tofu, and he eats. So, it just, I think, takes time.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm going to trust the process.
Yeah. And you really do have to. And this is the first time that I'm actually because normally I would do 21-day fix, 21 days, I'm done, that's it. And then I would be like, maybe I'll do a second round, and then my second round, I wouldn't do the containers as much and like that. But this, I'm really no, I really need to stick to this because I need something longer than 30 days.
Yeah.
So, Amanda's on. Hey.
I know. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I thought this was at 10:30 because.
Oh, it's okay.
You know me.
It's okay. And I know you have to go into work, so I'm going to let you share if you're okay with that. We're sharing successes from the week, struggles from the week, and anything we find was helpful for us to get through the struggles.
Am I on now?
Yes. I'm just because I know you have to go to work, so I'm going to let you share.
Yeah, I already told I'd be a little bit late, and not because of this call, just because that's how I roll.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I just have to say, generally, overall, I am so happy, and I can't explain it. I just feel like I finally found something that suited me. And I think it was just emotionally and mentally, I just kind of got to the point where I just needed something like this. And you guys know this, I'm 62. I used to be a gym rat. I haven't worked out forever. For the last few months, I really let myself just go. I'm just like, I'm going to eat, drink, I'm going to have fun. I'm not going to worry about anything. But it really caught up to me, and I started to feel kind of depressed about it. So it's hard. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's hard for me. But every time I work out, I have, I hit a milestone. Like I missed a day this week because I worked out really hard. If you saw my post, I worked out really hard Monday, left everything on the table. Tuesday, I was just exhausted. But I didn't skip a workout. I just followed the same, and I'll probably just miss the cardio core for Saturday's workout. But like last night when I did the AAA, the frogs, all 3 rounds, it was like I did those. The first week, I couldn't even do a plank. I mean, it was just crazy. And I'm screaming and I'm grunting it, but as soon as I get it done, it's like I'm done with the 3rd round. It's like, oh my gosh, I did it. I can't believe it. So it's hard. It's not a struggle for me because I'm in it, right? So it's not a struggle that way. It's just a challenge for me to just push myself harder. I do need to get heavier weights because, I'm using light weights, and it's just like I'm not seeing gains. I've probably lost 5 pounds, but I feel like I've just sort of stopped that. But I'm telling you guys, today going to work, I'm wearing clothes that I haven't been able to get my butt into. So, and I feel my stomach tightening up. I just feel everything kind of tightening. I'm watching the little jiggle under my triceps to see if I'm going to make some progress there. But anyway, and food, I'm not on point completely with the food. I don't prep in advance, but I don't have small kids, so I don't have to worry about it. I like the idea of cooking. Like I'll get up in the morning and make salmon or cook something to take for the day. And I eat during the day, but sometimes I don't get it like right on schedule. And my fallback is always a shake. So anyway, I can't believe I'm going into the 4th week. I've never committed to something, this long, other than when I used to work out at the gym and, 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on kind of thing. So I encourage everybody, just think about how you're going to be when you get 62 years old and just stay in it. My cholesterol was a bit high when I just had my exam. My blood pressure was a bit high. So that's definitely a motivator for me, but I've never had those problems, but it's just with age, these things happen. So just take care of yourself now and you will never regret it.
I love it. I'm so proud of you. And you guys, Amanda and I both, for the last 3 months, we've just been because I'm with her a lot. I mean, she's my mother-in-law. My kids are always there. We're always together. And we've just kind of been bring over the wine. We've just been getting it in with the wine since October. I don't know what came over both of us, but we were kind of meh. And so, I really have seen you. I feel like your energy is different. You're more, I mean, let me just tell you about Amanda real quick. Okay. She's 62. No. She does that, but she has so much energy normally. And so I did notice that you weren't as energetic. I did see that.
Right.
And now I feel like you're back to yourself, but even more,
Oh, I can't, I literally can't, and I'm not a morning person. I literally can't wait to get up in the morning time. And I can't wait to get home to do my workout. And my day was long yesterday. I didn't leave my office till 7. I'm at home. I got dogs. I got cats. I got stuff to do. I got to start timing my meals. I literally worked out last night at AAA at 9:30, finished at 10:30, then had to wait to get my next meal in. So I'm just making it work.
I love it. Good. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
And so I'll just share real quick and then I'll let everybody go because if we all have Saturdays to get to. But, for me, one of my really big successes was one of my best friend's birthdays. There was a surprise birthday party for her. Her husband called me. I was kind of in on the surprise to help get her there. He's a restaurateur, I guess you call it that. And he just opened a new restaurant a few months ago. And I hadn't seen it yet, so that was the decoy. So all these things are triggers for me, the excitement, the celebration, the best friend, the really good food. I'm oh my gosh, and getting out by myself as a mom of young kids. All these are triggers for food and wine for me. Mm-hmm. And so I was okay, I can do this. I'm not gonna give up all this hard work that I've been doing just because this event came, because there's going to be more events that are coming. We don't finish 80 Day until after my birthday. So I already made my mind up in advance. My birthday is April 13th. I already made my mind up in advance. It doesn't matter. I'm finishing this. I'm not just going to say, oh, it's my birthday, it's okay. No. So I think the thing that helped me go in there and be successful was, so anyways, I went in there and I was successful. I only ate some vegetables. I ate a little chicken meatball, roasted vegetables, and then I drank a big thing of Pellegrino with mint and lime. It made me feel like I had a cocktail. And I had it the whole time. So I had a drink in my hand while everybody else was drinking. So I didn't feel like awkward. But it just helped me because I mentally told myself ahead of time. And in the past, I would say it, but I wouldn't really mean it. And I wouldn't go with a plan. Like, I looked over the menu and all that. But then when we got there, her husband ordered food to the table. So I was like, crap, what am I going to do? Like, I don't want to be rude and be like, can I get a salad with some chicken? Like, I wasn't going to do that. So I was like, all right, let me just see what I can have. He brought all this brick oven pizza to the table because it's like an upscale brick oven pizza place that he just opened. And so I'm like, I love brick oven pizza. Like, I could eat it every day of the week. And
like it's your job.
yeah, I could eat it. And someone offered it to me. All you have to say is brick oven. I'm like, I'm there. So I didn't eat one little piece. You know, they're like, oh, just try one bite. I was like, no, I'm not doing it because I'm not strong enough to say, oh yeah, I'm not going to go down that slippery slope. I'm just not in that place yet. So I was really proud about that because that was like all my stuff. That was like my first big test, and I felt like I really passed it with flying colors. And then, you know, this week has just been emotional for me. I shared in the group that today's my daughter's birthday. And a lot of years, you know, for me, I've not necessarily, I always get sad. I always get sad. But then I feel like, you know what? I'm in a good place. I'm blessed. I have children. I have a husband who loves me. We have a great marriage. Like, I focus on those things and I kind of get through it. But I think because I also, when I feel that way, I also reach for my glass of wine, and I reach for some sugar or chocolate, some sort of comfort for myself that I fall back on when I feel emotional. Because I'm not using those things now, I think I'm feeling the emotion more because I can't really mask it. Because I've made my mind up that I'm not falling back on sugar. I'm not falling back on wine. I'm not doing those things right now. And so I think that it's just more intense for me right now. So that's been my struggle this week, but I'm in it and I'm working through it. And so we're definitely, you know, it's a challenge, and it's definitely something that life is going to happen, and you just have to decide what you want. And for me, I feel like this is more than just about, you know, me losing whatever weight I need to lose still. And it's way bigger than that for me. I feel like I need to overcome some things in my life. And this is just kind of like a mess. And so that's what it is. You know, it's a healthy way to work through life, and also to get some really awesome benefits, because, you know, you get some benefits from drinking wine, you get some benefits from just kind of detaching, but those are immediate and then they're over. They're not long lasting. And when you take care of yourself and you do these things, and not just the exercise and the eating, but like Meredith said, the journaling and the books that we're reading, and just being around positive people who lift you up, all those things give you long-term benefits and help you to do your life. They help you with so many obstacles that are coming at you, and not just, okay, now I fit in my swimsuit, you know, that's great, but that doesn't last either. You know, that's just a quick satisfaction. You can look cute in some pictures and then it's over. It's like, this is really about my family getting a better me. And I don't say that because it sounds good. I really want them to have a nice mom and a nice wife and somebody who's fun to be around, and not somebody who's constantly feeling some type of way. And so this is really helping me to work through all that. And where I would normally lean on unhealthy choices in these emotional times, I'm not doing that. So I think it's helping me to see that I actually still have some stuff to work through, and that it's okay. So that's been my struggle, but just being able to lean on people has been very helpful for me because that's not something I'm really that comfortable with unless I'm really, really close to you. And even then, sometimes I won't. But I'm like, it's okay to lean on people. It's okay to be open and to be struggling, So that's my thing. So I think, Amanda, you missed this part of the call, but I think that, what's today? The 3rd is today. What's Monday? Not today. What's the Monday? I think Monday's the 5th. Okay, so I think we're going to flip-flop the calls and just kind of, I'll make an announcement in the group, but I think I really want to accommodate everybody's schedule, but I can't do it on Sunday. So I was thinking, to be fair to the people who really can't get on because they're at work, maybe we'll do, one on Monday, one on Saturday, one on Monday, one on Saturday. And then we'll just keep playing with it until we figure out the best time. So if
and either one works for me.
Okay. So so going into this week, we're all crossing over. We're all used to 21 Day Fix. So we're literally, this is like getting to the end of 21 Day Fix and then you keep going. So this is really like a cool point in our journey because normally we'd be like, okay, we finished our round, and now it's just, we gotta just dig into why we're doing this. We have to really connect. This is the week to connect back to the beginning, to connect back to that excitement and what you felt like, oh my gosh, I need this so badly. That needs to be your focal point all week. That needs to be remembering why we're doing this, because this is going to be the challenge to say, okay, am I going to keep it moving or am I just going to do what I have always done and start over? And that's what I have to tell myself. Like, what was I thinking when we first started this? That's my focus all week long. Like, you wanted this, you needed this, you still need this. So that's what I'm going to have to keep saying to myself all week when stuff, is coming at me. So does anybody have anything to add? Amanda, I keep muting and unmuting you because I can hear the traffic.
Yeah, sorry, just keep me muted.
Oh, it's okay. Does anybody have anything they want to add before we get off the call? Somebody's kid has something to add. That's Carrie's son. I'm surprised my boys haven't busted in here yet. So funny.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm not quitting. I'm going for it.
I love it. I'm so excited. And let me just say one last thing. Amanda didn't even have her stuff come. Beachbody sent it to the wrong place. So she's been like makeshifting everything. I gave her some bands and she's been doing this without the performance line. I'm like, oh, your whole life's about to change because you haven't had the performance line yet. Like, wait until you're going to be like, you're going to see a selfie of her with a 50-pound weight. Like, I don't know what happened. It's called Energize. Yeah. So funny. All right. Well, we got to go pick up. Amanda, we're getting that shelf from Frederick today so I can organize the boys.
Oh, nice.
God.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, everybody have
let's talk offline. Okay. And ladies, I'm sorry I missed your story. I really wanted to share and hear it. I promise I won't be late next time. But
it's okay. And we recorded it, so.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Good. All right. Go sisterhood.
Yes, love this. All right, everybody have a great Saturday. Love you all. We will talk about the next call, whether it's Saturday or Monday.
Okay. Thanks, Demetria.
Okay. All right, thanks for getting on. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.